try to stop thinking, but the mind doesn't slow down. One thought becomes 10. 10 become a loop you can't exit. You replay the past. You imagine the future. And the present quietly disappears. So you tell yourself, just think positive. Just relax. But the more you try to control it, the louder it gets. This isn't just overthinking. It's an untrained mind holding on to the wrong things. The Bhagavad Gita didn't treat this as a small problem. It explained how thoughts multiply, how the mind gets trapped in them, and how clarity collapses. But here's what most people never notice. There is a specific shift that stops thoughts from chaining into anxiety. And once you see it, overthinking loses its grip in a very different way. Almost no one is taught this clearly, and without it, the mind keeps repeating the same loops. So what actually breaks this cycle? Without forcing the mind to be silent? How thoughts turn into chains. Krishna explains this directly.
ध्यायतो विषयान् पुंसः संगस्तेषुपजायते संगात् संजायते कामः कामात् क्रोधोऽभिजायते.
Meaning, when the mind keeps dwelling on something, it forms attachment. From attachment comes desire. From desire comes disturbance. Now look at your own mind. One small thought appears. You don't just see it. You stay with it. You repeat it. You analyze it. You build on it. And that's where the chain begins. Krishna is not saying thoughts are the problem. He's pointing to something deeper. The moment you keep returning to the same thought, you are strengthening it. The collapse of clarity, he continues.
क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोहः सम्मोहात् स्मृति विभ्रमः स्मृति भ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशो बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति.
Meaning, from disturbance comes confusion. From confusion, memory becomes distorted. From that, clarity is lost. And when clarity is gone, everything begins to fall apart. This is not philosophy. This is exactly what overthinking feels like. You start with one thought. Then, you lose perspective. You forget what actually matters. You create problems that weren't even real. And suddenly, your mind feels heavy, foggy, and stuck. Not because of reality, but because of the chain you entered. Most people try to stop overthinking by fighting thoughts. Don't think about it. Calm down. Control your mind. But that doesn't work, because the mind doesn't stop just because you tell it to. Krishna never said, force the mind. He pointed to something much more practical. The chain doesn't start with thinking. It starts with dwelling. A thought appearing is natural. Staying with it again and again. That's what builds the loop. So the shift is simple, but not easy. Don't feed the thought. Return your attention. What this looks like in real life. A thought appears. What if I fail? Earlier, you'd follow it. What will people think? What will happen next? Maybe I'm not ready. Now the loop has started. But this time, you notice it early. Instead of continuing, you gently bring your attention back. Not aggressively, not forcefully, just a quiet return. Every time you return your attention, you weaken the loop. Every time you don't engage, you break the chain. This is exactly what Krishna points to in another place. The mind will wander, but it must be brought back again and again. Not once, not perfectly, but repeatedly. At first, nothing feels different. Thoughts still come, but slowly, they don't pull you the same way. You start noticing them earlier. You return faster. You stay less involved. And something subtle shifts. The mind becomes quieter. Not because you forced silence, but because you stopped feeding noise. Overthinking is not too many thoughts. It's too much involvement in them. You're not stuck because your mind is broken. You're stuck because your attention is untrained. And the moment attention learns to return, the chain breaks. You don't have to silence the mind. You only have to stop following every thought it creates. Because the moment you stop feeding the loop, Overthinking doesn't fight you anymore. It simply fades.